understand the web tier, application tier, database tier. Okay, this is the official documentation. If you want, you can read this. You can pause the video for a while, read this, and then come back. Now let's understand what exactly the web tier is. Let me try to explain this thing in the layman terms so that you can understand it better. Now, web tier is the user interface, or where the end user will interact with the application. So let's suppose you're trying to purchase something from the Amazon website. Now when you try to purchase something from the Amazon website, you generally enter that product name or something, right? Let's suppose you're trying to buy an iPhone, so you are going to type the iPhone over there. That means you are interacting with the website. So that is a web tier. Okay, so you are interacting, you are selecting something, you are giving your pin code, you are selecting the product. So all those things come under the web tier. In the layman term or in the simple term, it's where you are interacting with the application. So that is a web tier. When we talk about the application tier is the logic which are running behind. Now logic in the sense, whenever you are trying to purchase any of the product, now from the back end it is going to check whether the product is available, whether the product is available in the data store, whether the product is available in your particular area or not. So all those things, all those logics which are running in the back, all those logics are the part of the application tier. So let's suppose you're trying to purchase a mobile phone, and when you purchased a mobile phone, that mobile phone is going to ship to your address. Now all those logics are the part of the application tier. So the logic of the application tier is the heart of the architecture. It is where information is processed. So when I say the information is processed, it is something like whenever you are trying to order something, the things which are running in the backend, these all things come under the application tier. And in the last we have the database tier. Database tier is nothing but where the information is stored in the database. So that is a 3-tier application. Now we are going to create this 3-tier application so that you will understand this thing better. Now here I logged into my AWS account. So the first thing which we need to do, we need to follow a couple of steps. So let me open the steps for you. So what all steps we need? So these are the steps which we need to do in this video lab. So we need to start with creating a VPC, then we need to create a subnet, then we need to create an internet gateway, netting, route tables we need to create, then we need to create a launch template. And why we need to create a launch template? Because launch template I'm going to provide in the Autoscaling group, so that if something happened to my Autoscaling group machine, it is going to create a new machine with the help of the launch template. User data we are going to use in the Autoscaling, then we need to create the Autoscaling group. In the last we are going to create the database tier, and in the end we are going to do the testing. So let's start with the step 1 where we need to create the VPC. Now I logged into my AWS console, and here I am in the VPC. And from here the step 1 is to create a VPC. So how to create a VPC? That is something easy. What we need to do is we need to click on the create VPC. Now here we have two options. One is the VPC only and the other one is the VPC and more. There is something advanced option where you can provide all the details like the route table, internet gateway, NAT gateway, all those detail in a single console, and it is going to create a VPC for you. Believe me, it is very easy to create the VPC, but I'm not going with this way. If I go with this way, it might be that you are not able to understand how we have created the route table, how we have created the NAT gateway. So all those things I want you to understand. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the VPC step by step. So the step 1 is to create a VPC, and for creating a VPC we need to click on the create VPC. Here we need to give the name. So any logical name, whatever you can think of, you can give. So for me, I'm going to give 3-tier application. It's just that I'm very bad with the name, so I'm just going with the whatever the demo we are doing, so that we will remember the whatever the VPC, whatever the resources we have created. 3-tier application is the name, and here we have the option to provide the CIDR block. We will go with the IP version 4. We will now go with the IP version 6. So let me provide the details. So 10.0.0.0/ I will go with 16. And here we have the tendency. This is something important. You have to go with the default tendency. If you go with the dedicated means the underlying hardware is for you. That right now the VPC which you are creating, that is going to be on the shared hardware. That is the reason you are paying very less cost, or while creating the VPC you are actually not paying any cost. But if you go with the dedicated, then you need to pay a lot of money. Why you need to pay a lot of money? Because the underlying hardware is only for you. No other customer is able to use that hardware. So I will go with the default option, and if I need to provide the tags, I can add couple of tags as well. But for this demo I don't want to provide any of the tag. I'm good. So let me create the VPC. So the step 1 is done. We have created the VPC. Now we will move to the step 2, where we need to create 6 subnet. So how to create a subnet? For that we need to go to the subnet. We need to click on the create subnet, and the first thing which we need to select is our VPC. Now here we need to create 6 subnet. 2 subnets are going to be a part of the web tier, which are going to be a public subnet. 2 subnet are going to be a part of the application, which are going to be private, and 2 are going to be the part of the database tier. Now when I say database, that means the RDS is going to run on that. When I say the application, that means any application like Apache or Nginx, any application is running on that. And 2 for the web tier, from where I'm going to connect my machine. Okay, so the first subnet which I'm going to create is web tier, and let me give public as well, or let me go something like this, public. And availability zone, I'm not going to select the availability zone. I will trust the Amazon to select the availability zone for me. And let me select this thing. Let me verify it. Okay, yes, 3-tier application. Great. So we have created our first subnet. Likewise, we need to create 5 more subnets. So let me go quickly. Let me select the 3-tier application. Let me select the subnet name, and this is going to be the web tier 1 or 2. Let me go with that. Let me give the address /24. I can go with. Done. We have created 2 web tier subnet. Then now we are going to create 2 application tier. This is going to be in the private application tier, private. Let me give the subnet 10.0.160.0/24. Let me create one more application tier 2. And the last one I need to create for the database. Private, no preference, 10.0.0 96.0/24. Let me create one more database within database. Let me copy this name. We are done. Here we only need to take care of one thing, and what is that? Let me go and filter all those things with the VPC. So this is my VPC, and here I'm able to see all the 6 subnets which we have just created. So here is all the subnets which we have created. Let me go and check the database tier. So the database tier, what we need to check is, we need to check whether the database tier are created in a different availability zone or not. So availability zone, it is created in 1C. So that is something I don't want. So I need to change one of the database tier, because when we are creating a database, there is a mandatory that we need to select the subnet in the different availability zone. So let me change this one. I don't think I'm able to change edit subnet setting. Do we have the option to update the availability zone? No, we don't have the option to update the availability zone, but let me copy this thing and create a new one. Let me delete this thing. Let me copy this information and let me go to the action and delete this subnet. We are done. Database first is created in 1C. Create, select the VPC, subnet, not here, database tier 2, private, and here we need to select the availability zone, so I will go with 1D. Okay, create subnet. Now we are good. So till this point we have created, let me go and select with the VPC. So till this point we have created one VPC and we have created 6 subnet. Again, 2 web tier which are going to be in the public, and 2 database and 2 application. Okay, now the third step is where we need to create the internet gateway. So how to create the internet gateway? This is the internet gateway, and here we need to create an internet gateway. This is AWS managed service, so we only need to provide the name, and everything is going to take care by the Amazon. So if something happened to this service, Amazon is going to solve that thing. We don't have to do any of the troubleshooting in this. Not managed by us, it is managed by the Amazon. So let me give a name. So the name is IGW 3-tier application. Let me create the internet gateway, and the second thing which I need to do is I need to attach this one to the VPC. Let me select the VPC. We are done. So till this point we have created the VPC, we have created the subnet, we have created the internet gateway. Now the next step is to create the route table. Now here I am going to create 2 route table. One is for the public and another one is for the private. So let me create the route table. So let me give the name route private. Here we need to select the VPC. So I am going to select the 3-tier VPC and create. We have one route private created. Now let me create one more route table, that is with the name public. Select the VPC and done. Now we have created the route table as well. Now what I need to do is I need to go to the public route. Okay, here we need to go to the subnet association and we need to click on the edit subnet association, and here we need to attach the 2 web tier public subnets. Okay, there is one more configuration thing which I need to do here. Here we need to go to the routes, edit route, and we need to attach the internet gateway here, IGW internet gateway. Here is my internet gateway and the destination is going to be 000. That means I can connect from anywhere. Done. Now the other route table, what I need to do is I need to go to the other route table, that is the private one. We need to go to the subnet, and here we need to attach the application one. Okay, we also need to attach the NAT gateway here, but as of now we don't have the NAT gateway created. So let's create NAT gateway. That is step number 5, NAT gateway. We will come to the NAT gateway. We have an option to create a NAT gateway or NAT instance. If you are going to create a NAT instance, that is something you have to manage. If you are going to create a NAT gateway, that is something AWS is going to manage for you. So it is better that we go with the NAT gateway. Okay, one more thing while creating the NAT gateway, whenever we are creating a NAT gateway, so let me give a name. So NAT 3-tier application. Here we need to select the subnet. Make sure we are going to select the subnet which is connected to the internet gateway, because at the time of creation of the NAT gateway it need to connect to the internet. Okay, so I'm going to select the web tier public here, and this web tier public subnet is connected to the internet gateway, right? We have just configured it in the route table. Connectivity type public or private, and here we need to give the elastic IP. So allocate one elastic IP. We are good. Create NAT gateway. Now NAT gateway is going to take some time. If we have some error here, that means we need to recreate it, or it might be we have not selected the subnet which is connected to the internet. Okay, there is no refresh option, so let me refresh it from the top. It is still showing me pending, so we need to wait till the time its state is available or running. It is not going to take much time. The only troubleshooting thing which you can do is to check the subnet, whether your subnet is connected to the internet gateway or not. That is the only troubleshooting you have to do. If you are sure that your subnet is connected to the internet gateway and still there is a problem with the NAT gateway, just delete that NAT gateway and create one more time. It will work. Now we have the NAT gateway available. Now what we need to do is we need to go to the route table, and we need to go to the private route table where we have the subnet for the application connected. We need to go to the route here, edit route 000, and here we need to select the NAT gateway. We are done with the VPC. We have created the VPC, we have created the subnet, route table, internet gateway, NAT gateway, everything we have done. Now let's move to the next thing, that is we need to create a launch template. So for that, what I need to do is I need to go to the EC2 and here we have the option for the launch template. So let me click on the launch template, create launch template. Here we need to give the name to the launch template. So let me give the name launch template name LT 3-tier application, and here we can provide the template version as well, but as of now I don't want to provide guidance to help me. That's okay. Now the next thing is where we need to select the AMI. So I'm going to select the Amazon Linux, this one, select. This is a free tier eligible. Instance type is going to be the T2 micro, free tier eligible. Key pair SSM demo, let me go with this key pair. Network setting, this is something important. Now in the network setting, okay, we missed one of the step as well. So let me go to the VPC and let me go to the subnet which are web tier. So let me select the web tier 1. Let me go to the action, added subnet setting, and here we need to enable auto assign public IP. Okay, let me do it for the other one as well. This is something I'm going to do only for the public one, okay, not for the private one. Added subnet setting. We are done. Now let me come back here Now here we are in the networking option. So here we need to create a subnet if we want to. Okay, next we have the firewall setting, and where we can create one of the security group as well. So let me create a security group. So let me give a name to my security group, and the security group name is going to be web tier SG. And here in the description I need to provide some description: hello, SSH and HTTP. Here we need to select the VPC. Make sure we select the VPC, otherwise it is going to create in the default VPC and our demo is not going to work. Now inbound security group, this is something we need to create. So here in the custom we need to select what? SSH, so that we can log into the machine. Port number 22 is enabled and the source is going to be 00000. Okay, here we need to add one more, and that is going to be for HTTP. Again the source is going to be 000. We can provide the description as well if we need to, but as of now I don't want to provide. Advanced networking, yeah, we are good. EBS we don't have to change. Resource tag we don't want to change anything, and in the advanced detail we will go to the last. In the user data we need to give the startup script. Now here we have our startup script. Let me copy my startup script, let me paste it here, and we are good. Let me create a launch template. Now we have created a launch template, and let's go to the autoscaling group. Here create the autoscaling group. Let me give a name, so ASG. Here in the launch template we need to select our launch template which we have just created, and here we have the default version as well. Whenever we are going to do any update to our launch template, then it is going to create a versions for me. As of now I have not done any changes, so it is showing me only default one version, so that's okay. If we need, we can verify the details as well, like the EMI ID, security group, all those things. Let me go next. Here we need to select the VPC, and the VPC I'm going to select the 3-tier availability zone. I can select if I want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the web tier. This is the one. So I have selected to web tier. Instance type, everything we can see. I don't want to connect any of the load balancer. I'm good with this. Desired capacity, let me go with 2. Or for this demo let me go with 1 only. We can add the notification as well if we want to. Let me add a tag, so the name is going to be web tier machine. Okay, next, and let me create. Now this autoscaling group is going to create one instance for me with the help of the launch template. So it is not going to take much time. So if we see the status, it is updating capacity, desired capacity is 1. So what it is going to do is it is going to create one instance for me, and that instance I can see it in my instance. Let me open it in a new tab. Here we can see one of the instances in the process of creating web tier machine, and I can see it is in pending state right now. Let me scroll up a little bit and go to the security. So this is the security group which we have created, where we have attached port number 80 and port number 22, and in the networking it is going to show me the VPC and the subnet ID. This is my VPC. Let me go to the tag. In the tag it is telling me that this is creating from the autoscaling template. Okay, and the version it is using 1. This is the name of my machine, and here we have the autoscaling name as well. Great. So it is in the running state. That's great. Let me go to the autoscaling group, and here if I'm going to refresh, it is going to tell me the status instance is 1, desired capacity is 1, and if I go to the activity, it is going to tell me all the activity that it has successfully launched a new machine for me. Here we have the automatic scaling and everything, instance refresh. We are not going in detail in this video, but I will surely create one video on the autoscaling where I will explain all those things. Okay, now the next thing which we need to do is we need to create one more launch template. and this launch template we are going to create for the application. So let me create a launch template. For that I need to go to the launch template, create launch template. The only thing which I need to change is to type application 3-tier template version. I don't want to provide guidance. Let me browse for the AMI. Let me go with this, the first one, T2 micro. I will go with. Keep here we have this SSM demo with us. In the networking, create a security group. Again we need to provide, this is for application SG. Let me give this name, allow SSH, HTTP and MySQL connectivity. Okay, here we need to select the VPC. Add the first one. I'm going to add for MySQL 3306, and the source I will define later on, because as of now we don't have the database created. Once we have the database created, that security group we need to provide here. As of now, let me go with 000. Add one more, that is for the SSH. Now from where I want this machine to get the SSH? I want it from this custom, and here we need to select the security group of web tier. So that means my web tier machine is only going to SSH into this machine, and there we need to attach one more, that is for the HTTP. In the custom I will go with 000. Yes, I'm good with this. Let me create a launch template. Now the next step is to go to the autoscaling group and create one machine with this autoscaling name, and this is going to be application 3-tier. Launch template we need to select, and this is the one. Again we have the version and every information. Let me go next. Here we need to select the VPC. Here we need to select the application 1. So this is going to be the application 1 and application 2 in the availability zone. Next, again we don't want the load balancing, we are good with 1. We can add the notification, tagging. Let me add the tagging, and in the name let me provide application machine. Next, create autoscaling group. Now again it is going to create one instance for me, and that instance I can check in the EC2 console. So let me refresh this thing. So I can see one of the instances in the pending state. Let me select this one. Let me go to the security, and here we have the application security, port number 80, port number 3306. This is something I need to update once my database is created, and port number 22. Here we have the security group of this web tier machine. If we want, we can verify that thing. So see, ending with 734. Let me go back here in the security, ending with 734. Okay, great. So let me refresh this thing. It is still initializing. It is not going to take much time, but let me go to the autoscaling and let me refresh this one. Select this one. Again you can see the activities, instance management, instance refresh, everything you can see it here. So till this point we have created the autoscaling group, we have created the launch template. The last step of this video lab is we need to create a database. So let me go to the database, and for that what we need to do is we need to go to the RDS. And before going to the RDS, let me go to my EC2 console and let me click on this web tier application. Let me grab the public IP of this and let's test whether this is running or not. Yes, my application, my web tier is running absolutely fine. Okay, application is something where we have the logics running, right? Now let me go to the RDS and let me create a database. While creating a database, you need to keep in mind couple of things. See, database is something where you need to pay a lot of money, so you need to make sure that whatever the database you are going to create, that is going to be in the free tier. Okay, so that you are not going to end up paying a lot of money for this demo. So here in the create database we have two options. One is the standard create and the easy create. I will go with the standard create and I will go with MySQL, and here I have selected free tier. Here you can select the version. If you want to go with a different version, you can go with that. As of now I'm okay with the latest version. Now here we have the DB instance identifier. I am not going to change this master username, master password, so let me give welcome1. From here let me change it to T2 micro. In the storage, if we need more storage, we can increase the storage as well. We can create the auto scaling storage option as well, but we don't want to create. In the connectivity, we need to select our VPC, and in the VPC, in the subnet group, create new. Here we need to create a new security group. So this is going to be for database. In the availability zone, we can select the preference. I don't want to do that. Port number 3306, password authentication, everything seems to be good. It is telling me the estimated monthly cost as well. Let me scroll up a bit. Yes, everything seems to be okay for me. Public access, I'm going with no. That's okay. Create database. Once we click on the create database, what will happen, it is going to create a database for me, and database creation is going to take some time. Okay, and if we see, we don't have any endpoint right now. We need to wait till the time we will not get the endpoint. Once we get the endpoint, and this endpoint I'm going to use in order to connect to my machine. And let me go to the security group. So here is the security group. Here is database one. Now this is something I need to update. So for that, what I need to do is I need to go to the EC2 instance. Here it is. I need to go to my application machine. Here I need to go to the security. Here I need to click, and in the inbound, let me click on inbound. Here we have the MySQL. Let me remove this thing and add what? Database here. Okay, so that means it is still in the process of creating, so that is the reason I'm not able to connect it, but let me try to connect. Okay, so we have connected, and now save rule, we are done. Now till my database is creating, what I'm going to do is I will go to the instance and let me connect my machine. So this is the web tier where I have the public IP, so let me connect to this machine. For that, what I need to do is I need to go to the terminal and cd download ssh-i, and the key pair name is SSM. Here I need to provide the username EC2-user at paste. Now if you get this error, permission denied, then what you need to do is you need to change the permission of your key pair. So how to change the permission? That is chmod 400 and the key pair name, that is SSM demo. Now try to connect one more time. You are able to connect. See, you are able to connect to your machine. So this is the machine which is in the web tier, and here we have our, the web server is also running here. So let me curl curl http localhost. Yes, we are able to see this thing. So that means my web tier is running absolutely fine, and this is something I have already confirmed with the help of this, and from here it is running. Now let's try to connect from this instance which is running in the public subnet to my private instance, that is the application one, I mean this one. Now here we don't have the public IP, we only have the private IP. So let me try to ping this thing. Ping. I'm not able to ping it, but if I'm going to take the remote of this, I'm able to take the remote of this. Now why I'm not able to ping this thing? Because one of the traffic is not added to my security group, that is the ICMP traffic. If you want a ping response, make sure you are going to the security group and add the ICMP over there, ICMP. Okay, now let me come out of this. Now what I need to do is, I need to come out of this, exit, and I need to get the content of SSM demo. Let me copy this thing. Okay, let me try to log into my machine. Okay, now from here what I need to do is, I need to create one folder where I'm going to store my key pair so that I can log into my application machine. So let me create a folder, touch, or we can use nano app key. Let me paste this content here. Let me save this thing, and the next thing which I need to do is, I need to change the permission of this app key. Done. Now the same thing, ssh -i, then we need to provide the key pair name. Oops. ls ssh -i app key EC2 -user @ now whatever the private IP I have for the application machine. Let me copy this thing, let me paste it here. I'm able to connect to the machine which is running in my private subnet 10.0.160.104c. I'm able to connect to this machine as well. If you are not able to connect to this machine, make sure you are going to check the security group. Okay, now the last thing which I need to do is, I need to connect to the database from this machine. So for that what we need to grab is the endpoint. So let me refresh this thing. Yes, we have the endpoint now, so that is something I can copy, and here we need to type, or first I need to install the MySQL here. So the command sudo yum install MySQL -y. So it is installing the MySQL, and why it is installing the MySQL? We don't have the internet gateway attached to this machine, but we do have the NAT gateway attached, and that is the reason we are able to go to the internet and able to download this package. Okay, MySQL, let me try to connect. Here we are getting the error message, cannot connect to the local MySQL through this. That means MySQL is there, but it is not able to connect. So now to connect to the database, the command which I need to use is MySQL -h. Then we need to provide the endpoint. Okay, this endpoint from where? From here, this endpoint. Then we need to provide the port number -p for the port 3306. Then we need to provide the username, and the username is going to be admin, and then we need to provide the password. Here we need to enter the password, and the password I think that is welcome1. I'm able to connect to my database. Great. So this is how 3-tier application work. I hope you like this video, and if you are looking for more demo like this, make sure you are going to subscribe my channel if you are new to my channel. And if you need interview question related to this 3-tier application, do let me know in the comment section, and I will create one video on the interview section as well. Thank you.